Like many of you, we battle depression during life's ups and downs.
Music has always been the one thing that we could rely on to get us through the tough times that we all face.
Follow us on our journey as we discuss the healing power of music,
Interview bands,
break down genres,
review band biographies,
and more.
This is the When Words Fail
Music Speaks podcast
with Blake Mosley
and James Cox. Hey everybody, welcome to When Words Fail Music Speaks. I am your handicap host, James Cox. AVAT is a metal band hailing from Miami, Florida, formed in 2015 by close friends Roland, Jonathan, Dimitri, Romulo, and Kevin. Always wants to be charismatic and enthusiastic about their music, the band is kept above the rest while always pushing the envelope. AVAT unleashes on its own fans heavy charging riffs, bewilderingly catchy leads, and viciously soaring vocals. They are of the same as bands like Killswitch Engage, Trivium, and Protest a Hero, with a flair of their Miami roots, all while encompassing their blend of metal, progressive metal, and metalcore. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Roland and Dimitri from AVAT. What's up, guys?
What's up, dude? That intro was killer. I think I cried a little
Hey, James.
bit. That was beautiful.
You got stirring up over there?
That was so good, man.
That was awesome.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. So y'all here from Miami, huh?
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
So I've been to Miami, and it's for a personal reason. But when I was there, it was extremely busy. Is it busier now that everything's coming down through the pandemic?
Oh yeah,
Dude,
definitely. We like to call this the deep South.
Yeah. The pandemic was pretty much the only time that provided us a way that you could get onto the Palmetto at 2 p.m. and actually get to your destination on time. But every day is a traffic jam. That's literally what defines Miami.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, easily.
What I loved about Miami is like I saw the luxury cars like the Bugattis and Ferraris and Lamborghinis. This is the capital of like sports car, you know. So yeah,
You
cool.
see them on the road like they're not.
I mean,
Yeah, like everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you it's like you can't go down the road without not seeing like a Bugatti or a Lamborghini, you know, and anywhere.
See, those are really cool. But then in Miami, you also see like the G-Wagons that are like wrapped up in like the really nasty, cheesy camel wraps that like, you know, they spent like $20,000 on.
Right.
And you're just like, dude, it doesn't even like, it doesn't even look that good, bro. Like, I don't know what you just wasted your money on, but whatever. A flex is a flex. Flex is a flex.
There you go. So before I started to research you, I looked up some Florida bands. Okay. So what I do for my first question for you is I'll let you be the judge. I'm gonna give you two sets of bands, two sets of Florida bands this time because y'all are from Florida. So and y'all pick which one would you listen to right now? Not which band is better, you know, but which one would you listen to? Okay.
Rolly's gonna kill this segment right here. Like he's gonna absolutely murder this segment.
Okay, so we'll start with Rolly. Cannibal Corpse or Deicide?
What's that?
Cannibal Corpse or Deicide?
Yeah, definitely Deicide. Deicide.
Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of like a Cannibal Corpse fan, though. You know, to be honest with you, you know.
Dude, I would have to say Cannibal Corpse all the way, just from the Jim Carrey debut.
Yeah,
like that was the best crossover in history. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say. Ace Ventura and Cannibal Corpse, best crossover in the history of movie making, hands down.
Although Jack from Cannibal Corpse did play Deicide like for like 3 years or something, right? Or something like that.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think he filled in for a guitarist, you know. Okay, next question is Obituary or 6 Feet Under?
Oh, 6 Feet Under, definitely.
Really?
6 Feet Under.
Yeah,
6 Feet Under, definitely.
Right. Yeah. No, he ain't gonna do it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm here are some classic rock bands. Okay, Molly Hatchet or the Allman Brothers Band?
I don't listen to either of them. I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
To be honest.
I see Roland's like,
if I have to listen to it, Allman Brothers.
Allman Brothers, yeah, they got some bangers, Okay, I got two more for y'all. Leonard Skinner or Blackfoot.
I don't even listen to Blackfoot, but I'm just gonna pick Blackfoot because of the fact that I don't want to say I despise Leonard Skinner, but it's like you have one song. I mean, like you have more than one song, but you have one song.
Right. But okay, so here's my stance with Leonard Skinner. So if I never listened to Freebird again in my life, I would be just fine.
Same.
Man, me growing up and going to clubs and bars, that song comes on like constant. It's like constant repetition, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't stand this song. I love it. Come on, dude.
My goal in life is to actually learn.
Play it so many times.
My goal in life is to actually learn the Freebird solo. So when there's that one asshole in the back of the venue that screams out, "Play Freebird," I play Freebird from beginning to end, and then I just put the guitar down. I walk into the crowd, and then I just beat his ass.
There you go.
And just walk back on stage.
Hell yeah.
Because he's gonna be so happy. He's gonna be so happy for that moment. He's gonna be like, "Oh fuck, he actually did it."
And then
he just sees me walk up to him like, "What?"
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think these bands are from Florida, but I'm going to toss them out because I have to know. These are two of the biggest bands in like metal history, so I just want to know from y'all. Okay, y'all might hate me for this, but y'all over there, y'all can't beat me up right now. So okay. So Pantera or Lamb of God?
Ooh, that's the question. That is the question. To be honest, bro, if I really had to pick one of the two, I'm definitely going with Lamb of God just because of the personal influence that they've had with me. I'm a Lamb of God
fan, definitely.
Yeah, like Pantera is an awesome band just for the sake of what they did pioneering the genre. But as far as like a personal impact to me, Lamb of God was a huge influence on me, like growing up. The same way that Pantera was probably a super huge influence, to Randy Blythe and everyone else in Lamb of God, So.
Really? What's your take on this? I know you hate me right now. We gotta have a.
I love Pantera, but Lamb of God definitely, it hits it to the core for me. It's just. Generationally speaking, I was listening to I wasn't listening to Pantera until somebody told me about Pantera. And even then I was amazed, but Lamb of God definitely has to do it for me.
I am going to have to agree with you as much as I love Pantera. I think Pantera brought it in for the Lamb of God because after that Dimebag passed, it's like. Okay, like Lamb of God is legit. They're like the new Pantera, which is rightfully so because I think they hit heavier than the most metal bands today.
I think that was like perfectly said. I think that was the perfect summary.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. So I know that I was listening to a previous interview with y'all, and y'all talked about cover songs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have a cover song that y'all can listen to. I know. Okay, so Dimitri told me he's not a big country fan. Are you really?
Country, I can swing it.
Okay. So there's this guy called the Marty Ray Project. He does a perfect song of Ice Ice Baby. Perfect song of Ice Ice. You need to check it out. Even if you're not a country fan, you should listen to it.
I'll give it a shot.
Definitely will.
I'll give it a swing.
Give it a yeah.
A swing and a twang.
So is there any cover songs that y'all really go to whenever you don't want to listen to like Lamb of God or Cannibal Corpse or
I mean, like as far as like covers that we play eating shit and warming up.
Yeah.
Lamb of God was like pretty high on that list, bro. It's like, bro, we'll play like Redneck, Lay to Rest.
Lay to Rest was definitely a good one.
I do that one all the time. Black and the Cursed Sun. what else? Dude, we played a lot of Lamb of God songs actually. Just like, but it's just kind of like eating shit. You know, we're just like warming up in the studio or at the rehearsal place. But as far as like legit covers, they're still on the hush hush.
Well, I've always found Johnny Cash's cover of "Hurt." You know, I mean,
yes, dude. Yeah, we talked about that in one of the other. I think with the Mankini interview. Yeah, dude. That song, that was even Nine Inch Nails said it, bro. Like as soon as Johnny Cash covered that song, like, yo, we don't own that song anymore. That's his song now.
No, I think wrestler said, okay, that's his song. That's not my song anymore. I just wash my hands. I'm clean. You know. Yeah. So, what other cover songs do you like? Do you like because there's one song called "Behind Blue Eyes" by Limp Bizkit that they just murdered that song to death. You know.
Oh, yeah.
That rendition
and
was amazing.
The one that Disturbed did, the Sound of Silence.
Yes.
Sound of Silence. And isn't 10,000 Fists a cover too? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Genesis, right? Or like Phil Collins.
Yeah. Dude, Disturbed actually does a fucking really good job with covers, man. They kill that shit.
They do all the time, you know. And so I'm amazed they're not as big as they are. I mean, you know, bigger than.
I mean, they're huge, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah.
That 9 Point cover, man, that was amazing. I love that one.
Oh yeah.
I think it's in the air tonight. Yeah,
dude, they killed that shit too.
That kills it. Kills it for me. Yeah. So about AVAT, how did you come up with the name AVAT? Is it like an acronym for something?
He's got the juice on that one.
All right.
So, all right. So AVAT is an acronym. It is a victim target, and we decided to settle on the acronym after we selected the members of the band. So originally, when we were in the early stages, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to sound like, who we really were, and we had a lot of things in common. One of those things was Misery Signals, and we all liked the song, and some of the early members joked around about a victim of target, so it just kind of stuck, and that's how the name came about. But really, once we found the right pieces of the puzzle, then we decided, maybe we didn't need a full name change, but definitely the acronym felt a little more solid. It felt more put together. It felt that we could really get behind that and say, yeah, we are AVAT, right? Similar to like a fire inside AFI. And
AFI is the example I like to use a lot.
Have that kind of set in stone, so to speak. Like we were what we were, and then now we are finally that one piece that came together.
Right. Nice.
That AVAT.
Yeah. Okay. Because I like to think outside the box really often, and I love movies, and I thought that was like homage to Batman, because the Joker fell in a vat of chemicals. So I'm like, okay, well, but okay, yeah, that's
actually kind of like that's cool wordplay.
Yeah, but I mean that's a whole lot better than Batman. Yeah. So I got a question for Dimitri here. So what was your first guitar, and do you still have it?
Yes, it's okay. No, kind of. So the first. It's okay, so it's somewhere in this house. I don't know where, but it's somewhere. The first guitar that I started learning on was like a nylon stringed classical guitar that was kind of like laying around the house. And during the summer that year, it was like from 6th to 7th grade. I was so absolutely mind-boggling bored that I taught myself how to play guitar.
Oh no!
That I looked up YouTube videos, and we had books in the house, and I fucking read the books and looked up YouTube videos and shit like that. So by the time that I actually hit school again, I was like at beginner, intermediate level, stuff like that. And once I started getting good, my mom bought me my first electric guitar from Target.
Nice.
First act.
Target way back when, huh?
Dude, believe it or not, dude, those first act guitars were fucking kick ass, bro.
Yeah.
They were kick ass, and it came with like the combo amp that it came with was super trash, but like the guitar itself, bro, like I forgot who was the guy that was like branding those guitars. It was the guy from Maroon 5. I always forget his name, bro. Goddamn.
The lead singer.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
how is it that none of us know this guy's name? The guy from Maroon 5, bro.
his name is Adam.
Adam Levine. There we go.
Yes.
There we go. That guy.
Levine,
yeah.
there
Apparently,
you
this guy really like put out a really good guitar with Target.
It's amazing that we can't get the first name of the very well known band member, but nobody else remembers any of the other members. And
It would be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I just thought the irony was really cool that my first electric guitar came from Target, and now my band is a victim of Target.
Right. Yes, it is. Right. Yeah. So okay, so when you go out and get a guitar just to have it play it in your band, what kind of stuff do you look into buying a guitar?
To be honest, like I used to be a stickler for the spec stuff. Like it needed to be this kind of wood, and it needed to be like this scale length, and it needed to be like with these pickups and like da da da. And like as time goes on, I've come to figure out that none of that is consistent enough for it to really make a big difference.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the difference between active and passive pickups and like having the ceramic coils and all this kind of stuff. Like production is never going to be so consistent that like you're going to have two guitars that sound exactly the same, and then you're always going to have like this. You can have two guitars built the exact same way with the exact same materials, and they're not going to sound the same.
Right.
Like they're not. So at this point, like for me, I've simplified it to the point where like if I like a guitar, I like how it feels and I like how it plays, and I like it. That's it.
Yeah. So brand names aren't your dig. I mean, you don't dig into brand name. And
what I will tell you is that I have been playing a lot of Gibsons lately, and I got my hands on a Gibson Explorer not too long ago, and let me tell you, dude,
Gibsons are nice. Yeah, Gibsons are very nice.
You know, for a really long time, man, especially like when I was younger, I always kind of like thought that the whole Gibson brand hype was just hype. You're just like, oh yeah, there's guitars are like expensive for no reason, bro. You can get like the Epiphone, or you can get like a Chipson or whatever. And then I've been playing this Explorer for the past like 2-3 weeks. I'm like, no, dude, I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. Yeah. Wrong. Completely wrong.
Everything about it is wrong. Yeah.
Wrong.
I don't know if you heard of this brand, but this is an old school brand called Synsonic.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Like an old cheap knockoff of something else. You know, that was my first guitar, and then I moved on to Clark guitars, and I sold it. So I don't know where it is now. So I'm depressed sometimes. So you know, it is what it is.
No, man, I feel you. I still to this day can't find that first guitar, and I really wish I could find it.
Oh yeah, because that the first guitar is like your home base, Like, why did I get rid of it? Oh yeah, I need money or something, Yeah. So.
Yeah, it happens, man. It is what it is.
Yeah. Roland. So how long did it take you to learn how to sing? Did you take lessons?
Well, I kind of feel like I've always sang. Okay. Whether that was well or not remains to be the case. But I grew up in New Orleans and listened to my dad plays records and whatnot, and I kind of picked up music that way and started listening to it on a regular basis. Right. When I was a little older, and I was in middle school, I started to get into chorus and choir. Started to learn the fundamentals, and I didn't really get serious until high school, where I was kind of pulled aside. Funny enough, I was in guitar class, and I wanted to learn guitar, and then all of a sudden, I was learning this Incubus song. And I started to sing it, and as soon as I sang, the I guess the professor at the time, he was just like, "Hold on, just stop what you're doing, and let me go get somebody." And so he went to go get the drama coach and the choir director, and they came and listened to me sing Incubus, and they pulled me into their classes immediately. They're like, "Yes, somebody that can sing. Let's do this." So that's really where I started to get a lot more of that classical training, vocal coaching, and I learned to belt because of being in drama. So, being able to sing out into an open audience with barely a mic, because, I mean, school supplies are few and far between, especially for microphones. And so you really had to project.
Working
and
microphones.
I was able to do that with,
Yeah.
right. And even
There'll be 30 busted ones in a drawer.
and you were blessed with that. Every single one of them has been dropped several hundred times. So, I was able to pick up on that and start auditioning for plays and everything, and really get full circle. But then, I continue to push that on and really teach myself after that, and just continue to strive forward for that end result, which I wanted to be in a band for the longest time.
Right.
So I didn't end up doing that until later, toward the end of high school.
Okay. So which Incubus song was the song that you sang? Was it like "Wish We Were Here" or "Pardon Me" or
I'm sorry?
"Pardon Me"?
I believe it was "Pardon Me."
Okay, yeah, that's a banger too.
It was "Pardon Me" at that time, and that was definitely like that first album really shook me, and I remember listening to that back and forth, and just going through the whole discography, trying to find all the early works, Fungus Among Us. I found all the EPs. I ordered all of that stuff online, and that really opened my world to doing live music from there.
Yeah, they're really really special to be heard. I think everyone should have at least like 3 or 4 Incubus albums on their playlist. Because that's a very special band, because that band brings back memories. Because I'm 41, and that brings back like solid memories for me. So.
Hey, Roland, I never knew about that. That's like the first time I've heard that story about you. That you started with guitar, and then you had teachers that were just like, whoa.
Yeah, let me go get some.
They stopped me, man. They stopped me dead in my tracks. They're like, "Whoa, this guy can sing."
You got lucky. You know what? Like you and I both got really lucky that in our youth we had like mentors and instructors that actually saw the talent in us and like wanted to help and cultivate that. Because not a lot of people have that, bro. It's really sad that there's so many super talented people that work on their craft, and like day after day they just go completely unnoticed, and they get no hands to like help them out or nothing like that. So both of us are super blessed to have had that, like especially in our youth and our childhood. Without that shit, for a fact that you and I would not be here doing what we're doing right now.
Right.
100%.
Oh, absolutely. I have everything to thank for them.
Yeah. And that means something else when somebody else believes in your abilities, because without them, y'all probably wouldn't be here right now, talking to me. So, I don't know.
I mean, like as I've reached adulthood, like I'm pretty confident now in my own abilities and what I can do and stuff like that. We're out here like in the real world now, but especially when you're young, like you definitely need that. You need that a lot. Every now and then, even as an adult, like to have like a little pat on the back, good job or whatever. Right. It's good to have, but especially working in the entertainment industry, dude, is that like, yes, you're going to have a lot of really awesome fans. You're going to have people super supportive of what you're doing, but you're also going to have the exact opposite. You're going to have dickheads that are just going to try to shit in your life as much as they can, like on the daily. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that because, you're an adult.
Yeah.
That's the real world.
That's right. But, with every hate comment, there's like 43, comments that are like, "Hey, you stick in there, buddy." I think, to be honest with you, there's more nice people out there than there's and there's hateful people out there.
Absolutely. The issue is that the hateful people are just 50 times louder, because they speak with such vigor.
Yeah, I think the reason why they're hateful is because they're too damn lazy to do anything about their life. I mean, if
Could be.
if they just stick to their dreams, maybe they'll progress on. But you know how that is. That's
for whatever reason. I don't really care that much at the end of the day. Like,
yeah.
I'll even be nice. Like, hey, it really doesn't matter. What's funny though is that like you could find that one person that's just like really nasty and evil, and they just act out, and you have no idea why. Believe it or not, this has happened to me before. I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. There was this kid that I used to see at work all the time, and he was always super polite, for a while, and like he was funny. We would make conversation and stuff like that, and then after a while, he would get like, after a couple months passed by, he would be like argumentative and like just kind of like starting shit with people for no reason. So I actually pulled him aside. I'm like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, why are you acting like a dick?
Right.
And then he like kind of broke down and started crying and like just like, man, look, I've just been having it really rough, man, and I don't know what to do. Right. So a lot of times, man, I don't even take it personal. I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what's going on in your life, man. Like,
that's true.
Wish you the best.
That's true.
Don't care. And if you got a great life and you're still a dickhead, then fuck you. All right, then there it is.
That's true. So Roy, do you think like anybody can sing, or like do you think like are you born with like do you think people can be taught how to sing, or is it just by birth that they like know how to sing? Like you're born with it.
That's a great question.
I truly believe that anyone has the ability to sing at some extent, right?
Okay.
I'm sure that there are some people that are just more natural than others. I'm sure that there's a lot of factors in that, and your upbringing, maybe your DNA has something to play with that. I don't know, but I would say that everyone does have the possibility of being able to sing. We all have at least one tone,
right.
So whether or not the thing is, I guess the next step would be to say whether you're receptive and adept enough to learn, right? And whether you have the willpower to do that. I actually was speaking to a friend of mine earlier today about this, and he was telling me that he was tone deaf. And I'm like, that's impossible. He was, going on about him being able to play all these instruments, but at the end of the day, he, like, when it comes to singing, he's not able to sing. And he's the kind of person that he's already taken lessons and whatnot. So I'm really glad that you brought this up. But, I told him when there are techniques that you can learn to, pitch train. There are techniques that you can learn to go up and down scales, and you can even go through your voice and find out the separate notes that you want. If you really want to map yourself out, you can. And I think that's a really fun thing to do as a vocalist, and being able to find out your complete range, in what you're comfortable with, what's the stretch, and how you can get better. It's always, and you have to remember that it's a muscle. So, I mean, if you're not working it out, you're going to lose it, right?
Right.
Right. And I think that's the problem that a lot of people face, is that they get frustrated. They don't see progress on day 5 or day 10, and they think that that's maybe enough, but maybe it might take them a year. You don't know.
Right.
And I've been doing this for quite a while, where I can say that, with a proper training and technique, I think anybody's able to do it. It's just,
yes.
It's really,
However,
it comes down to dedication.
It takes some people a lot more work. So, like, to answer the question, yes,
absolutely,
it's both.
Yeah,
like it is definitely both, though. You do have people that are just born out the womb, just like, oh, and they know what they're doing,
right?
And they're blessed with the ear, they're blessed with the timbre, they're blessed with like everything, and then to them that shit's easy. And then you have other people, it's way harder. Can you learn how to do it? Yes. From the examples that I've seen in like my personal life, myself included, is that like if you're not a natural singer and you really, really, really work at it, you just get really good at faking it. Like you really do. Like you kind of mask your bad timbre with just like certain overtones and stuff like that, you know, but like you can never really get the perfect timbre. You never really get like everyone's voice is going to sound different at the end of the day, you know, like it's not like a guitar where you can like swap hardware, you know, change pickups and like, you know, change the gauge of the strings. Like, no, dude, you got one voice. Like that's it. You can do stuff to manipulate it, but like at the end of the day, it's the only voice you got. So like, you know, and you're going to have to go through a much longer awkward phase. Like when you're learning how to sing, you have this crazy awkward phase of just learning your body where you're doing these really dumb warm-up exercises where you're like, dude, you look like you're schizophrenic. Like you look absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times I've practiced doing like
every morning.
Like in my car, you know, you pull up to a red light and I'm just there at the steering wheel. I'm just like, I just see the guy like in the Honda Civic next to me, like,
yeah. What are you doing, man? Yeah.
Oh man.
So,
So
here's
what
another.
in the world are you doing?
Right.
basically.
Yeah. Here's another singing question for you, Rolly. So as you grow up, you know, becoming a professional singer, what food should that person stay away from to help their voice like
That's another really good one.
become perfection?
That's another really good one.
'Cause I've heard.
Can you
like,
repeat that?
Yeah. Yeah. As you're becoming a professional singer, this is anybody. What foods should they stay away from to make their voice like retain the most powerful it can be?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I think the foods you should stay away from, anything that would cause too much acidity. Although, and some people would agree that to some extent the acidity is necessary to keep your vocal cords clean and clear of like oils and whatnot. So for those kind of things, those would be like a once in a while gargle, something like that. But I try to stay away from acid based things. Lemonades are kind of like out of my diet, and I drink a lot of water. A lot of water. The one thing that I continue to do though is coffee. I can't stay away from it. And if you absolutely must, take an antacid. It's there for a reason. So
a lot of people,
but I think that's probably what helps me the most.
Yeah, no, definitely. A lot of people hark on the antacid stuff, and I can understand why, because you know having the increased phlegm production as a response to the acidic food that you eat can like really complicate how you manipulate your voice and stuff. But not only acidic food, I've also found that on the opposite end of the spectrum, like basic foods, right? Like so you have like milk or like cheese or anything like that. It hardens phlegm if that's like not too nasty or weird, but like for singing purposes, it sounds terrible. Like when you have a lot of phlegm going on back here and you like need to spit it out or swallow it or whatever, like that is like a bad time.
Yeah,
but like it also gives me. It sounds really cool when I'm screaming though, like. So I don't know. So I feel like when it comes to the foods that you eat for what you do and stuff like that, like you really need to know your body very intimately, because I don't think that's going to be like a super like 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing, because everyone's body is different and everyone absorbs food differently and has different responses.
Right. I've heard honey water works tremendously well.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like definitely more like a pain relief thing.
Okay.
It's not so much like like it can get you by. Like let's say like you're at the rehearsal studio or like you're recording and you've been recording vocals for like fucking 2 hours and stuff, and your voice is like shot. It's on borrowed time. Like the honey and tea stuff will get you by a couple more takes, but that's not like a cure all. Definitely if you do it like a regimen, I'm sure that it has some kind of an effect, but I've never seen it have like long-term effects.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Warm-ups and cool-downs are where it's important for that. Definitely.
Oh yeah, big time.
Make sure that you're doing proper warm-ups and proper cool-downs,
especially
after you're doing it. And if you're a singer that ends up running out of gas at the end of the night, and you are going on tour for the first time, and you're trying to do this for a living, it really helps to do a lot of vocal rest and just pick and choose your battles. Like if you know that you shouldn't be speaking, don't speak. Just kind of cut back, and then have cue cards. I've seen singers, have like just little notepads ready for themselves and whatnot, and just use your phone for everything. So I would recommend that, definitely.
Cool. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So starting out as okay, hold on. So who inspired you to begin the journey as musicians to have a staple in metal? So, like, was there like a specific brand, family, or like a band that you was like, all right, that's it, that's what I want to, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Great question. And what's funny is that so I've been on record almost, I think, every interview that I have done, saying that what got me into playing guitar was Bon Jovi and like Breaking Benjamin and like shit like that. That's what I started with, and then eventually continued to get like heavier and heavier and heavier and stuff like that. As far as bands having personal influence on me, like, yeah, all that still is the same. Like, dude, I would literally listen to Wanted Dead or Alive like on repeat. Like, I would literally just listen to the intro part with the 12-string guitar, and then as soon as it ended, I would just like start it again from the intro. Like, that's how much I loved the 12-string guitar in that song. It was awesome. For people that actually pushed me and motivated me to do stuff, my parents, believe it or not, super, super, super supportive. Like, and I am so thankful and blessed to have supportive parents that would listen to like incessant demonic screaming in my living room while I'm playing guitar, and they're like, "He's so talented." Like, like,
Right.
oh my God, that's my son.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucked though is that whenever we have like the, like the family get-togethers and stuff, like this is the musician curse. Like if you're a musician, you already know what I'm talking about. But like as soon as like family comes over and your parents are like, "Oh my God, honey, play them something, play them a song, play them one of your songs." I'm like, yo, they don't want to hear that right now, bro. They're trying to eat their Thanksgiving turkey. Just like, dude, grandma's gonna have a heart attack. Like, chill out, bro. She ain't built for this.
Show them your video. Show them.
Oh, you know what's funny is that I literally showed my grandma like last week the video that we just finished shooting. She's like, "Oh my God, it's so nice. It's so professional." It's awesome. I love it, grandma. But yeah, definitely my family and my teachers. My middle school teacher and my high school teacher, both of them were huge impacts on me learning music. My middle school teacher was awesome because he helped me become the best guitarist I could have been without doing a single goddamn thing. Like he literally did not do anything other than just like gave me access to his office and let me play there whenever I wanted in the middle of the day. I just like skip class and go to his office and play guitar.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that's where I just got so much practice time in. Like that's what I did all day, every day. And then in high school, I had my high school band teacher. He taught me like theory and stuff like that. And that's where like a lot of my practical knowledge of music came from.
Right. How about you, Roy? Who inspired you besides the teachers? I said, wait a minute, let me go get some money.
Well, I'm gonna hark on that one more time. Definitely, my drama coach. Right now, my family, definitely, my fiance, a huge support in my life right now. The guys in the band, I can't do it without them. And as far as like what bands like really pushed me to the edge to say like, I've got to do this. Like this is something that I have to achieve in life.
Yeah.
I remember getting you remember those mailers back in the day, Columbia House?
Yes. Oh my God. Well, okay. Yeah.
Oh man. So I mean, if you were a JIT back then and you got a Columbia House through the mail and you started to fill out this mailer, it was like I was a kid in a candy store. I ended up getting Green Day. I ended up getting, and this was in the mid to late 90s, and I got Green Day, I got The Crow, I got a couple other albums. Metallica was on there as well.
Right.
And The Crow album, listening to that for the first time, listening to the industrial tracks on there really put me in this spot where I was just like, wow. I mean, the soundscape that they had in there was amazing. And then being able to translate that and then watch the movie and then seeing all the music in the right parts and that really woke me up to like, wow, this is really cool. And then I started to look at each of the different artists and look at, wherever I could. MTV was the hot spot at that time.
Yeah, right.
To look at what live performances, what music videos they had, and I started to, watch that religiously.
Yeah.
So definitely that Crow album was the catalyst, I would say, to push me into like driving myself deeper into that metal wedge. And from there I got big into the next phase, the new metal phase, the screamo phase. When I started to play out as a band, a lot of the bands that really focused my effort at that time and really drove me to be better were Thrice, Alexis on Fire, The Bled. Oh man, I love The Bled. But Thrice was huge because I love the guitar work. I love just the quick pace of it. Artist in the Ambulance was one of my favorite albums at that time. And
yeah, Dice is super good. I didn't discover Thrice until way later.
All that. I mean, that was amazing.
Right. Yeah.
It was just amazing to do that. And I was like, man, these bands are out there doing this and they're getting signed and they're going on tour. And I'm like, I have to do more. What can I do? So, trying to find the right people and just continue to sing my head off, that would have to be it. That
Damn, you know what's crazy? Like somewhere down
and everything in between.
Somewhere down you telling me all this stuff now, it actually jogged of this really random, super crazy memory of like how I started getting into Breaking Benjamin. Was I had that same feeling when you like see it for the first time and you're introduced to it, and like you're not even like you had no idea about it before, and you're like, oh, okay, like this is kind of cool. I can get into this. I didn't know about Breaking Benjamin until I played Halo 2, and then you know how like they have that song on the like the OST.
Right.
So like I was like, yo, that song's super badass, and this is back when FYE was still a thing. So like I was walking through Dolphin Mall back when the FYE was there at like where the cheesecake is now. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm walking through the FYE, and then I find the Halo 2 OST. So then like I bump it. I'm like, yo, this is fire. So as soon as like I figure out who the band was, that's when I went on to like BearShare. Like it was like LimeWire, but even worse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like. And then I tried finding everything I could from Breaking Benjamin. And then I had an obsession with, like, if I watched a movie or, like, if I played a video game and there was a song in it that I just thought was super badass, I would have to go out and buy the OST. So I did the same thing with Triple X, and that's how I discovered Rammstein.
Dude, Rammstein is on a platform.
Rammstein. Oh,
well, dude.
Feuerfly.
Love them.
Have you seen
Did you guys hear what they just did with their merch?
No.
They're selling shirts with designer, and some of the shirts and hoodies are going for over $1,000.
That doesn't sound very Rammstein.
If you can, if you can do it, do it. I mean,
that sounds like Rammstein, but also doesn't sound like Rammstein at the same time.
Yeah,
very weird.
The way they put on live performances is like beyond like God level because
yes, I agree.
Like in Germany, they have these like 20,000 foot things going like it's amazing and
they have roofless, like literally roofless stadiums.
Yeah, and
30 to 40% of the stadium itself is the stage.
It's, right.
And
right.
like everything is pyro. Everything is pyrotechnic. It's like insane. Absolutely fucking insane. And I actually figured this out not too long ago. I don't know if this is like hearsay or if this is like legit. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Till is actually like he went to school and has a degree for like doing pyrotechnic stuff. Like for doing stunts and stuff like that.
I've heard that they're professionals at like pyrotechnics. So yes, that makes sense.
So like he designs all this shit himself. Like that's all him. Like, dude, can you imagine not only being the singer for the band, but then like you get to go to the stage and be like, yeah, fire like here. Like
where fire
there and then there. And then like everything that you see in your head is just like boom, then it comes to life. Like it's real. It's like it's crazy, bro. The guy's living the dream.
Oh, and you see this microphone light that on fire too. You don't care.
Yeah, fuck it. The shirt that I'm wearing, can we like also light this on fire? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, but speaking of inspirations and going back to what you said, Dimitri, I think that John Bon Jovi had an inspiration on like everyone that plays the acoustic guitar. Because I'm not sure if y'all remember one of the music awards way back when. They played an acoustic version of Wanted Digital Life, and that spawned MTV Unplugged, and more people like starting to pick up their acoustic guitar because back in the day you didn't hear any acoustic guitar besides metal music, rock music, from Rat to Poison. So I think that John Bon Jovi really had an inspiration on that platform.
I mean, no doubt about it, dude. I mean, like Bon Jovi pioneered. I want to say pioneered, but they like spearheaded, the hair metal movement, and it was like a form of pop metal almost. Like it was a form of metal that was super popular in mainstream, and they were able to like bands like Bon Jovi and Kiss and stuff like that. Like they did something really unique, and I think it's only happened once so far in the history of like rock and metal where like we had crazy looking shit, crazy sounding stuff, right? That wasn't too harsh or aggressive, and a lot of people liked it. It was able to like hit the pop mainstream.
Yeah. So starting out as a local band and been trying to sign to the market yourselves, you had to make So starting out as a local band, you had to do everything yourself, right? You had to make your promo posters or whatever you had to do to get your name out there.
Oh yeah, like we had our own scrims made, and we made like the frames for the scrims, and figure out how to get booked.
Yeah. So who taught you how to actually sign?
Sign
with them. Did the labels come to you, or like did you like here's my demo? Check this out.
Broly's got this one. That's all you, buddy.
So, I mean, we have been in talks, to do a few things, and we really tried to stay as independent as possible for the longest time, just to have more control over what we wanted. And then we were approached through a mutual friend about sitting down and listening to what our producer and record label owner for Apocalypse Records had in mind. He wholeheartedly, is the glue to the band. He has pushed us further every step of the way, helping us realize our vision, our dream, and then also like dialing it back when it needed to be dialed back in an effort to get to the next step and to the next level. So working with Apocalypse Records, and then also in partisan with Intercat Music, that's really helped us, catapult us to where we are now. And we're getting ready for the next phase. They've just been instrumental every step of the way. Anytime that we have a cool idea, they're like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Yeah. So, I mean, working with them is a blessing, because they're 100% behind us, and we're just so grateful to. It's like it is truly a breath of fresh air to be
No,
able to
definitely.
work
I
with a
have to
team
agree.
that 100% believes in you and your product, and then not only do that, but also give you the tools to be able to accomplish it.
Yeah.
So
So the label did definitely approach us first. We didn't have to like, you know, send them anything or like harass them to like, you know, get their attention or anything. Because like I said, like Rolly said, the guys that started the label were kind of like mutual friends of theirs. So the thing is though, all of that stuff was already in motion before I even joined. So the funny story with me joining AVAT was before I joined AVAT, I was in another band with my high school buddies. We were called Master Kingdom. And I had spent a lot of time and a lot of effort really like trying to push that band the most that I could. And I felt like it was really going somewhere until, you know, everyone kind of just stopped doing stuff. We all split for like, you know, kind of stupid reasons. And then I got really frustrated with music after that. And then I was just like, Dad, you know what, man, I'm done. I'm over this. I'm gonna do something else because you know every time that I give it like 100% and then you know it kind of kicks me in the face. And then I had a friend of mine that was like, hey, yo, man, this band's like really good. They're looking for a guitarist. You should like you know like hit them up, give them like a demo. And I'm like, man, dude, like why? You know, like I'm kind of over this. He's like, no, bro, do it. Like this band's really good. You'll like them. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I listened to them, and at the time, the only song that they had out was Brenna. And I'm like, all right, no, okay, cool. This is cool. I fuck with this. This is like, you know, this is Warped Tour material. This is good. It's good. So then, you know, I shoot them a demo, and then they get back to me, and they're like, oh, come over for a rehearsal. I'm like, all right, cool. So like, this is now like the meet and greet phase, you know. So I meet with everyone there, and then you know I play. And you know everything goes really well. I get the parts down to like you know 90%. Obviously, it wasn't perfect, especially my first time playing with them. But you know it worked out really good. And then you know about 2 months later, you know showing up to rehearsals and stuff, we meet up at the studio, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're signing on to the record label. So here's the papers. You can look them over if you want. Have a lawyer look over them, and you know just sign them and bring them back to me when you're done." I'm like,
Right.
"What? What?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about, guy?"
uh,
Like nobody had told me anything about the record label, like nothing. You know, like I guess like it was a strategy. You know, make sure like I'm in it for the right reasons or something. I don't know, but like no, it's either that or y'all just like totally just forgot to mention it to me. You know, so like 3 months in, they're like, okay, here are your papers. I'm like,
like what? Yeah, this is gonna. Yeah. So with nowadays bands can record their albums from home and you know get their music out with Spotify and Apple Music right now. Do you think that that's the best option rather than go to sign a label? Because yes, you'll get more notoriety through labels, but they take like almost half your percentage, or like you know. What do you think? Which one would be more
at the
suitable?
end of the day, okay, a great question. That is like a super awesome question, and these are the questions that I really like talking about because it's the stuff that people don't like to touch because they feel like they're gonna like hurt feelings and stuff.
Right.
At the end of the day, dude, when you have the backing of a label, it's not just the music production and distribution. Okay. What you're getting out of that deal is also licensing and marketing. And that's stuff that you as a musician yourself will never have the time to fully master and understand. Everyone has one lifetime. You have one lifetime to live. Okay. And during that lifetime, you only have so much time to commit to learning something. I believe that as a human being, everyone should be diverse in their skill set, right? But like jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing is fine, right? Like a jack of all trades is still better than a master of one, I think is actually how the saying is supposed to go, right? So I believe that every person should have like multifaceted skills. But at the end of the day, nothing replaces a specialist. So these people have marketing teams where they specialize in marketing. Like that's all they do. That is their bread and butter. That's their life. The same way that music production and like writing songs is my life. And that's how you end up with like really good results. At the end of the day, in the music industry, like nothing is promised to you. Like you could literally have infinity dollars. Like you could be Elon Musk rich, okay, and like make the best music, and at the end of the day, like no one could like it, you know. Vice versa, you could be like a street artist in LA, you know, and then randomly out of nowhere, someone likes your shit, and then before you know it, you know, you're making like millions of dollars, you know, going on tour with like I don't know Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez and all that shit, you know. So like,
at least you're getting your name out there with them, you know.
Like at the end of the day, everything's circumstantial, you know, and obviously there are guys that have totally done it without the help of labels because you know
Right.
a lot of times they get screwed over by labels. I mean, look at Arctic Monkeys, right? Like they ditched the labels and they did their own
What about
thing, and
Chance the
obviously,
Rapper?
yeah, Chance the Rapper, you know,
Yeah.
like they figured out how to do it, but they're the minority, okay? Like they're the exception and not the rule. I haven't been in the industry enough to really say that with like 100% confidence, but that's just kind of what I've noticed. And I can also say with 100% confidence that I have no idea where we would be right now if we didn't have Apocalypse and Intercat doing what they're doing.
Right.
I don't see it. There's no way.
So I know that most bands record in several different ways. I know Metallica likes to record with the music written first, and then later, other bands opposite situation. So what is the recording process look like for y'all? I mean, do y'all write the music first and focus on the lyrics later, or is it like reverse?
90% of the time, yeah. 90%
Okay.
of the time, it's like the music first, and then the lyrics will come later.
Okay.
But because that's how we do it all the time, we're actually trying to, as like recently, we're trying to like experiment with doing it the other way.
Right.
And then kind of
just see
like a couple months ago, we were in the studio and we just told Rolly to just come up with some random lyrics, and like John came up with a random chord progression, and then we had Rolly like sing on top of that, and then like just going off of what he was singing, you know. So like starting with the chorus is actually a really good way to write a super catchy song. If that's your goal, if your goal is to like write a song that's going to be stuck in people's heads, like start with the chorus, and then everything else is secondary.
Okay, great. Yeah. Y'all have 5 songs on Spotify right now. You have Brenna, Dead or Alive, Together We Fought Wolves, and the new is Faith in Flames. That y'all just released last week, I think.
Yes.
So how has the response been for Faith in Flames?
Amazing.
I mean, like really okay, good.
Like,
yeah, it's been amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah. Just I mean,
I think
it has praise for it.
Let me check.
Just in this inter-industry and online, and it's funny, just kind of looking at the comments and that kind of stuff. Internationally, we're doing pretty well as well. So I think this one's getting much more well received than the others. Definitely initially, and I hope that people will, be able to convert and follow us on our social media and all of our streaming platforms so they can catch out what's coming out next. So this will definitely be an indicator of that we are paying attention to how people are responding to any given song.
Right. So these are all singles, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So will there be a full album out soon, or will all these singles be on it, or is it
soon? Don't know. As far as the singles being on it,
you don't know.
Time will tell. Maybe a couple, but definitely less than more.
Right. Okay.
Only like a handful. To be like right now, what we're trying to do with the singles is we're really just trying to establish our footing and show everyone like what it is we got. So I think in a previous interview, we talked about how every single that we've put out so far is just basically us showcasing a different skill set that we're really good at.
Right.
So like with Wolves, for example, it's kind of like the pulse and the rhythm and just like the feeling of the breakdown and stuff like that. With Faith in Flames, it's just all out craziness. It's just crazy shredding, like just like the super fast riff at the
We
beginning.
definitely hit the thrash.
Even the chorus is fast, you know. And then the tapping lead part at the end. And then for Brenna, it was just like we really wanted to focus on that super catchy chorus that kind of like gets stuck in your head, like being a little bit more melodic. So every single that we put out, we're just kind of like showing you guys different aspects of our writing. Ideally, what we want to do when we start with the album is have all of these songs be more blended, so that every song showcases all of those traits, all those skills.
Right. Yeah. Well,
and we're definitely proud. I mean, we're gonna dig into how we want that to come across sonically, because when you start thinking about writing an album, you know, you have to have some kind of like anchor for it to, you know, come out the intended way. I mean, there's always some kind of revolving theme. Not necessarily to say that it all has to be one subject, but definitely a theme, right? You're gonna get that same feel across the whole album, and that's really the goal, and that's where some of the better albums that have come out are successful in that.
Yeah, cool. Well, I just have one more question for y'all, and then I'll let y'all go because it's 8:33. I don't know if y'all have to go right now, but this podcast is called "When Words Fail, Music Speaks," and that can be further from the truth. And I always ask my guests this same question. So with every song, a song has a deep, meaningful relationship with you in the song. Is there one song that you can think of right now that when you hear it, you can't tell anybody else how it makes you feel?
Yes, definitely, and I'm totally okay with talking about it because like that's what music is for. So you know what, man? Like you're getting the golden nugget, because this is something I don't even talk to like with a lot of my friends. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people that I know in my personal life, like they don't really understand the relationship that I have with music and what it does for me and stuff like that. So like there's a band called Nothing More. I'm sure that you've heard of them before, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic band, like amazing, bro. This guy Johnny Hawkins has a way with words that like he sings poetry. It's like amazing. It's beautiful. So on the last album he wrote, there's a song called "Fade In, Fade Out," and he talks about his like relationship with his father who's passing. And you know, my father's a little bit older now, and I've used that song to come to terms with the eventuality of his passing. And like every time I listen to it, I choke up a little bit, but then, you know, like it also gives me some kind of comfort, because in the song he talks about how his father gave him like lifelong lessons, and that he is going to live basically eternally through the lessons that his father taught him, you know, and that like everything that he does in his daily life is going to represent the teachings that his father passed down to him, and stuff like that. So every time I hear that song, it definitely does kind of like does a little bit of something to me. And because I do have a really, really, really close relationship with my father, he's taught me how to be the man I am today: respectful, courteous, polite, you know, hardworking and stuff like that. I owe that man like everything. So definitely, that's it right there.
That's awesome. How about you, Rolly?
Oh, this is definitely tough. A song that would both be personal to me. I can't really think of one that there's a lot of great music out there.
There is but there's never too much music.
And across so many different genres. Like I really dive into a lot of different artists across all different kinds of genres. One that would come out is I think I'm gonna say Deathbed. Is the name of the song, and it's by a band called Reliant K. And
yeah, dude, Reliant K is good.
Great band, hell yeah!
I love that song. I like the way that they write. I like how they write. They write the same every time, which is really increasingly hard for a band to do.
Yeah.
But they have a way with words. And that song speaks on so many different levels. Just personally, family, and friends, close friends that I've had, and just the theme behind it. Kind of like finding that peace at the end of your life, and thinking about all the fallen friends and family that I've had. I wonder if that's how they felt, and that's really where that one touched me. But this is definitely just one of the many, because there are
Right.
too many songs that really just tear at me.
Yeah.
So I'll find a few, and I'll let you know. I'll send them to you.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So for anybody who's listening, you can find AVAT on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at AVAT Music. That's AVAT Music, and they have a website called avatmusic.com. Unfortunately, you got the same thing on our platforms, and that's awesome because I tried to do it and I can't. So I can't get the whole consistency going for me. So it's very cool that you all got the same thing. So yeah. So.
I do like a
Well, or something. Yeah.
There we go.
we got like it's like the Ginyu
Triple
Force.
fist bump.
Yeah,
so,
dude.
it's like Pokemon Voltron or something. Jeez, that goes back. I just told all my age, man. I'm 41, so I don't know if you remember.
Hey man, you're looking good for your age, bro. Shit.
Thank you.
I'm literally half your age and we look the same age, bro. That's pretty fucked up.
Well, hell yeah, dude. So, so I just wanted to thank you all deeply for coming on the show and talking to me about music and how it makes you feel.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So yeah. So thank you very much. And
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, bro.
Yeah,
Have us back anytime.
We'd
We'd love to come
James.
back.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And we're clear. Nice.
Definitely. Take care.
That was fun, man. That was awesome.
Thank you so much again for coming on. And hopefully whenever this pandemic ends, y'all can come to Columbia, South Carolina and we can meet some,
Dude, we'd be more than happy to pay you a visit.
Definitely
Just,
would.
hopefully sooner than later everything gets back to normal.
Yeah, because
wait and see.
Yeah, because I hear like bands are starting to open up their touring session right now, and right now I'm going to Steel Panther next week. So
you're gonna go see Steel Panther?
Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah, bro!
One time before, and they're fucking amazing show, dude. Oh,
dude,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, dude.
I hear they're really
that's
good.
Gonna be wicked.
I had a friend come go to the one down here in Miami.
Yeah,
that's gonna be wicked, dude.
Awesome. So, thank you all again, and I'll let you know whenever this interview goes up, so you all can probably.
Thank you so much, James.
All right, thank you. Bye.
You're the man.
Awesome. Thanks,
Have a good night.
Take care.